October 24th, 1994. Vassula of my Sacred Heart. The footnote reads, I was thinking that by calling me in this way, the Orthodox will continue to turn against me, because the terminology is Roman Catholic. Would it please you, were I to say, Vassula of the Pantocrator? The footnote reads, the Greek Orthodox terminology. You are dedicated under my name. I am one. The footnote reads, He is the same Christ. I am one and the same, but men have parcelled me out. He who sows division reaps a harvest of destruction. He who sows prejudice reaps a harvest of folly. Have you not heard that the fool folds his arms and eats his own flesh away? All the flesh that was covering them is gone, and their breath too. Nothing remains out of them but dry bones. My names are holy. The footnote reads, Christ's different names, for example, Pantocrator, Divine Heart, Ichthys, Alpha and Omega, Emmanuel, etc. But men have patronized me, and have expelled me from my own house, my own city, and now from my own sanctuary. The footnote reads, not only Christ is thrown out from his own house, because a question of terminology, but in the West some have started to abolish the perpetual sacrifice. They are oppressing me, and weighing heavily on me. Overweening with pride, they are content to live in a desert. But I mean in these coming days to display the holiness of my great name, which is because of your division profaned. I tell you, daughter, you do not see how your people are living undisturbed and in an appalling lethargy when it comes to work for unity. The footnote reads, the Greek Orthodox skipped many of the ecumenical meetings. I will allow no more of this. I am going to reach out my hand even to the remotest parts of your nation and overthrow these traders. The footnote reads, traders signify in this context those who look after their interests and not Christ's. That hinders my people to unite. I have raised you to be a sign of unity, a sign of my mercy, a sign of my power. But the passions of their ostentatious pride has turned them blind. Today I can say, let their bones burn, and take revenge. I can widow your nation, but in my mercy, and for the sake of my love, I will raise from the east at least one who will say to his brother, the footnote reads, the Western brother, come and tread on my ground. Come and eat from my table. Come and drink with me. My vats are overflowing with new wine. Let us pasture our lambs together and make an Eden out of our pastures. Our God, see what our hands have made out of your sanctuary. My house in the west is being plundered. I had asked them to assemble under Peter. The footnote reads, the message of June the 3rd, 1988. But they have not understood, and are doing the contrary. Many from within that house are saying, why is it that we have to have a guide? The footnote reads, reference from the message of May the 16th, 1988. Especially this guide. I had warned you that cardinals will turn against cardinals, bishops against bishops, and priests against priests. I selected Peter to feed and guard my lambs, but the spirit of rebellion, thriving now, has reached its peak of rebellion. This was the great tribulation I was warning you of. The footnote reads, reference from the message of May 16th, 1988. My house in the west is being plundered, but the wind from the east will rise, and together with my breath will strip the plunderer. Many members of your nation object to my call of unity, and have accustomed their steps to walk their own way. They call themselves rich, but then where are their riches? How is it you have become a degenerate vine? Can you say that you have not sinned? Is there a single place where you have not sinned? You, the friend of my saints, the child of my mother. Why have you become so obstinate? What are your endless ceremonies to me when you give me praise by lip service? Yes, you have kept my tradition, and this is why the sword will not come to you. Yet you put aside my 2 greatest commandments, and do not follow them. Why do you separate tradition from commandment? The footnote reads, it means pay attention to those 2 commandments as much as you pay attention to tradition. Should you cover yourself with myrrh and incense, I should still detect the stain of your guilt. Open your mouth now, and let me feed you, so that you devour life. Do not say, we will go our own way. Return to me and acknowledge your guilt. And you, daughter, shout my message aloud and prophesy. Say, I know all about my house in the West Bank, near the river of life. And I know too who in this house remained loyal to me. Daughter, what do you see outside this house? She says, I see a lion prowling outside that house, and eager to enter your house from a side window. The Lord answers, yes, the lion left its lair, daughter. A destructive spirit is roaming. Angel follows close on angel to warn you all, and tell you that my city in the West Bank will be stormed by the ravager, and with great violence, that is, to oppose and contradict my law, my tradition, and my divinity. The whole country shall become a horror. Your holy ones, my messengers and my prophets, will be hindered to go on with their work, and over you will spread a heavy darkness, while the enemy, who is a scholar, will be banishing my perpetual sacrifice, thinking his acts go by unnoticed with his secret sins. My hand will descend upon him suddenly, destroying him altogether. That night had been foretold in the Scriptures, but he, together with the others, have put their oath in the beast's mouth joyfully, honouring only the beast, for having given them its power. Woe to the worshippers of the beast! They will be mourning and bemoaning. Now, daughter, what do you see on the other side of the bank, my house of the east? She says, I do not see any city, and the land is sandy and flat, as in a desert. But I also see a green shoot springing from this desert. The Lord says, listen and write. Glory will shine from the eastern bank. That is why I say to the house of the west, turn your eyes towards the east. Do not weep bitterly over the apostasy and the destruction of your house. Do not panic, for tomorrow you will eat and drink together with my shoot from the eastern bank. My spirit will bring you together. Have you not heard that the east and west will be one kingdom? Have you not heard that I shall settle for one date? The footnote reads, I understood that Christ was referring to all of his messages of unity, calling us all to unify the dates of Easter. This alone seems to settle him and satisfy his thirst for unity. Christ promised us that if we unify the dates of Easter, he will do the rest. I am going to reach out my hand and carve on a stick these words: West Bank, House of Peter, and all those who are loyal to him. Then on the other stick I will carve East Bank, House of Paul, together with all those who are loyal to him. And when the members of the two houses will say, Lord, tell us what you mean now, I will say to them, I will take the stick on which I have carved Paul's name, together with all those who are loyal to him, and put the stick of Peter and his loyal ones as one. I shall make one stick out of the two, and I shall hold them as one. I shall bind them together with my new name. This will be the bridge between the east and the west. My holy name will bind the bridge, so that you will exchange your possessions across this bridge. They will no longer practice alone, but together, and I shall reign over them all. What I have planned shall happen. And should men say to you, daughter, that these signs are not from me, tell them, do not fear. Have you not heard that he is the sanctuary, and the stumbling stone as well? The rock that can bring down these two houses, but raise them up again as one single house? This is what you will tell them, daughter. I, God, am with you. I shall inundate with my spirit many more hearts. Come, I love you. Have my peace. Signed, Alpha and Omega. Vassula writes, the icon of St. Peter and Paul represents on the left side St. Peter and on the right side St. Paul. They are holding together, like two pillars, the church. Within it is the meal, the Holy Eucharist. In my vision, the river of life. Above them is Christ, the high priest, and the head of the church,